Yeah, I'm also curious about your policies towards asylum seekers. I've seen the change in your approach from a very welcoming, like open arms stances to setting some boundaries, especially maybe around the shelters policy. So what prompted this shift? And I don't know if this, affect your relationship with the Biden administration, the White House.
The shelter policies, that no one enjoys bringing a shelter in any community, particularly those that are coming with the migrant asylum seekers. We have made it clear over and over again that our city has run out of room, and we're going into neighborhoods that we did not ever wanted to go into. It was our goal is to try to centralize this crisis as much as possible. We were unable to hold it just in the central business district because of the number of migrants and asylum seekers, over 160,000. We're still getting anywhere from 2,500 to 4,000 a week. And we're not seeing enough leave the system because they don't have the authorization to work. Every immigrant group who has come to this city all had the opportunity and authorization to work. We believe that that is the answer that we can resolve and won't have to place people in shelters and in humanitarian relief centers. So it disappoints us that we're not getting the support that we need from the national government. We have to solve this problem on our own for the most part. And we know there's a great level of frustration from our Asian American brothers and sisters who believe this encroachment of shelters and the various hurt humanitarian relief centers are coming into neighborhoods we never wanted them to go into, but we are clearly out of room in our city.
I got it. So are you still seeking assistance from the White House? Are there any, recently updates from them?
We are still asking the White House for financial support to come up with a decompression strategy so that instead of New York bearing the weight, that the entire country should pick this up, securing our borders to make sure that no one is coming here with any harmful intentions, and to pick up the financial burden of this crisis. A city should not pick up the burden of a national government.
Do you foresee any changes maybe in the right to shelter policy in the future?
Yes, we've made it clear, we being this administration, we've made it clear that the right to shelter, which came in place over 40 years ago, it was dealing with long-standing New Yorkers who have fallen on hard times. It had nothing to do with the asylum and migrants coming over to the country. Like I said, over 160,000. The system is not built to sustain that. There is no logical thought process that someone can come anywhere on the planet and come to New York, and New Yorkers are supposed to pay for their food, shelter, clothing, all of their best basic needs for as long as they want. That is just not sustainable. And that's why we're in court right now asking the state judge to look at this policy so we can make sure that it does not tie our hands and hurt taxpayers to pick up the cost of sheltering the entire globe.
Yeah, that's what I want to ask, because we found that some New Yorkers, they are concerned about using their taxes to, for the asylum seekers, rather than paying for the essential city services like MTA, education, or urban development. So how would you address these concerns?
Their concerns are valid. Their concerns are real. And I understand that New Yorkers are frustrated and angry because they are right. We're going to spend $5 billion this fiscal year and over $12 billion over 3 years. This should not be on the backs of taxpayers. It's going to cause us to cut needed services. This is unfair to New Yorkers, and it's unfair to migrants and asylum seekers who want to pay into our tax base, but instead we're telling them no, they can't work, and it's just not logical, and it's just harmful to everyday New York City residents.
I got it. I found that some politicians, even within your own party, have criticized your approach, just like to moving homeless individuals off the streets, like your attitude towards asylum seekers. So in a time when extreme political views are on the rise, so do you find it tough to maintain a moderate and centrist stance?
Well, there are two schools of thought in the city for the most part. One school of thought believes that New York City residents should pay the cost of whoever comes to New York City, no matter where they come from on the globe, and we should pay it for others. They also believe that if people deal with mental health illness, that they should be able to stay on the street and continue to live on the street. Then you have the other school of thought that believe our hearts may be large, but our resources are not endless, and that the national government should be paying for this, and we should not be held responsible for it, and that people who deal with severe mental health illness should be placed in care, even if it means that they have involuntary removal to that care. I line up on the side that believes we should not pick up this course, and I line up on the side that believes those who can't take care of themselves or in danger to themselves, they should be involuntarily removed to the hospital. So there's a philosophical difference, and I think the overwhelming number of New Yorkers believe, like I do, that this should not be on the backs of New York City residents.